Well, hello and welcome to the candy wallpapered upstairs hallway of the dollhouse for another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Hugh Stelfers for October 18th, the day of personal leadership. And here at the top of the page is a visual representation of the day of personal leadership, but we have us one of the more enigmatic images that I've ever come across in the book, and there have been many. So what is it? What is this enigmatic image he speaks of? Well, it just so happens to look like a paper tiger, if you like, with some, what I would guess are archery targets down the midline of its body, or levitating golf balls, perhaps. I don't know. That's why it's enigmatic. Now, is that a proper representation of your birthday? Who's to say? Maybe the reading as we get into it will make some kind of correlation for as much. We'll understand why they chose that. But a lot of times, I can't make hide nor hair of it. In any event, not altogether important about the visual representational image. What is important is it's October 18th day. It's someone's birthday. So I just want to wish you a happy birthday. That's right. That's what's important. And if this video finds you, I don't know, a couple days, weeks, months late, well, I hope you had a happy birthday. That's right. But for everyone else who's joining us randomly, or more ideally to celebrate the October 18th birthday, well, I just want to say hello, welcome, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Now, before we dive in with the birthday redirect, let's roll some dice. That's right. This is the DykASSt, a birthday broadcast, so we need to live up to the namesake, but we do so more importantly for synchronicity's sake. We rolled us a 5 and a 6, 4 and 11. All right. Hey, what is synchronicity, you might be wondering? Well, it's just you getting out in the world and letting the universe show you it's with you on your path. And you do that by looking for these agreed upon numbers. Now, you don't necessarily have to go with the numbers I rolled you. The intention's there. But you might want to make your own contract with the universe if you're going to get out there and do this. But it's probably advisable either way that you take your own set of dice. So you can ascribe directional values to number sets and also figure out time limits by which to go down those directions. But once you reach the end of that time limit, well, you stop, you compose yourself, and you look for another sign. Be it your numbers, your 5 and your 6, or your 11, or just something that stands out. And you got to be real eagle-eyed a lot of times, or put a lot of your your preconceived notions to bed. Like to say, maybe you see a bunch of folks, and there's somebody who's just walking around with like a red grocery bag, right? Well, you see that all the time, probably. But what stands out, maybe, is that nobody else is carrying anything. That's right. So, hey, you gotta take note of those little things. You gotta be aware of your surroundings with these things. You might just start seeing things you weren't otherwise looking for. Like you had your blinders on, if you like, but you gotta be open to the universe showing you things, because it's always out there showing you things from what I hear. And so this is the case where you are inviting it. That's right. So you're going to see and feel the magic, hopefully. Who's to say maybe the old number 11 bus pulls up in front of you, which you reach that time limit there. So you know what? Hey, this is your day when you're looking for your signs. Hop on that thing. I know you probably don't ever ride the bus. But hey, this is the moment to do so, right? See where it takes you, right? Maybe you've got perfect change in your pocket to pay for the fare, and normally you don't even carry coins. But who's to say, hey, get on there, roll the dice, find out how long to ride the bus for, or maybe more properly, you'd roll you an 11, right? And the next stop is the number 11 stop. Hey, that's synchronicity there too. And maybe when you get off, you find yourself in front of a building with a 56 in the address, and it just so happens to be an archery shop of all things. And when you go in, oh, well, hey, how about that? They don't have any paper tigers on the wall. That would have been a thing, wouldn't it? But hey, maybe the person behind the desk says, how can I help you today? And you say, I'm just here for synchronicity. I don't need anything. They go, oh, what's that? Maybe you show them this video, and they're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to close up shop because nobody else is in the market for archery stuff today either. And you just made you a friend. Maybe that's what this whole day was about. Making a friend. And any event, you never know. Things could line up just that way. Probably not, but maybe they could. Any event, hey, let's dive in with the birthday read, shall we? Your month is October, your day the 18th, your sign is 23 to 25 degrees Libra, and your period is Libra III specifically. Last day of it, I believe. And your quality and elements is Cardinal there. All right. October 18th, the day of personal leadership. Those born on October 18th are often destined to play an important, active role in life's great drama. Not only cut out to be players, however, they may also function as powerful directors of what goes on around them, be it the concerns of their family, business, or social circle. And October 18th people are not shy about pushing their way to the top. But though their desire to be king or queen of the hill is great, they may keep a low profile if necessary. Yet October 18 people are hardly typical leaders, for they have many other interests in life. And if they are head of a company, for example, they may steal away when they can to devote themselves to an endeavor for which they have still greater passion. And many born on this day who are selected for management positions look forward to the day when they can return to their former primary interest. When they leave, however, they are likely to be missed for their integrity and unimpeachable honor, as well as honesty. Less powerful individuals born on this day can also find themselves candidates for fame or fortune due to talent, connections, or sheer luck, but are not at all comfortable in an exalted position. They can suffer anything from a feeling of being overwhelmed to a complete nervous breakdown as they try to cope with the heavy responsibilities placed on them. Finally, they must either reconcile themselves to a lesser role or risk falling victim to stress. October 18 people like to be where the action is, and preferably right at the center of things. But even flashier types born on this day carry an introspective air about them. And although they can function in leadership roles, they should not push themselves too hard or far. Their primary interest is in their own work and private interests, and they will only be able to leave them for so long without becoming unhappy. And those born on this day love to have fun with others, yet because they are not highly social, may at times find it difficult to fit in. And October 18th people like to be included in the plans of their family or social group, and can get pretty upset if they're left out. But because they despise self-pity in themselves and others, they are not the first to bear their emotional hurts. And typically, they would rather return to their work and individual pursuits than mope around like a lost Cinderella. And though such self-sufficiency is admirable, they have to be careful not to misread the intentions of others and cut off communication when, in fact, things could be straightened out. By keeping the dialogue open, October 18 people can also avoid appearing to be know-it-alls or aloof, smug types. They should always maintain both their dignity and humility and never allow themselves a superior or overconfident attitude. Well, all right. How about that for a birthday breakdown? October 18th, the day of personal leadership, I dare say. Well, even, hey, I got some notes here. Let me provide a little bit of commentary, let you know what I thought about the read. I get a little redundant here and there, but you got to provide the context, right? So let's get into it. Destined to play an important, active role in the life of great drama. In life's great drama, rather. So you're hardly a paper tiger. Oh, there we go. Though that's not to say you don't have targets on your body or golf balls levitating around you. Who's to say, depending upon your interpretation, to shoehorn the representational image in there. But you apparently function as a powerful director of what goes on around you. To segue back into the breakdown here. Interestingly, the reading claims you aren't shy about pushing your way to the top either, which is the through line for Libras, if I remember correctly. But you're also capable of keeping a low profile if the situation requires. Well, some people can't do that, I don't think. But you're hardly a conventional leader. Apparently, you have an outside passion. You're going to go after it in the meantime, as you may make an effort to give said passion adequate attention regardless your responsibilities. At least that's what I got the reading to correlated from the reading there. Now, they kind of made it sound like that wasn't the case, but then they made it sound like it was the case if you was tracking. But that's probably hardly the reality if you're missed for your integrity, your honor, and your honesty. When your passion ostensibly allows you to leave because it becomes financially viable. That's right. Let's go back and forth here too ourselves. Let's see. But apparently, the less powerful individuals are powerful enough to find fame or fortune, but they end up being uncomfortable with that reality or overwhelmed, and they might fall victim to stress because of it, which is one way to throw a wet blanket on otherwise good news, right? But from the sounds of things, you love to have fun, but mostly by yourself, all right? On account of not being highly social, it said. Hey, no judgment. I like to have fun by myself too. That's right. In the dollhouse, ostensibly. But it's probably what largely lends to your ability to really drill down on individual pursuits and keep from, as the reading says, moping around. That's right. Don't be sad sack Sally and not get nothing done because you don't feel right. Get after it. Drill down. Be, prolific, if you like. But yes, regardless how high functioning and accomplished you may be on your own, I'd argue it's good practice to at least try and be social, all right? If you like. And that means with others, getting out of the house. You never know, all right? You might learn a few tricks while you're out there to take home with you and apply to those passions of yours. That's called synthesis. That's right. Taking the antithesis and the thesis and throwing them together for something. You never know what you might learn out there in the wild. You might just learn, hey, that's not for me either. That's right. That's what I often learn. All right. So that's been the birthday breakdown. Let's dive in with your numbers and your planets. All right. Those born on the 18th of the month are ruled by the number 9, as 1 plus 8 equals 9, and by the planet Mars. The number 9 is powerful in its influence on other numbers. Any number added to 9 yields that number, e.g., 5 plus 9 is 14, and 1 plus 4 equals 5. And any number multiplied by 9 yields a 9. So 9 times 5, 45. 4 plus 5 is 9. And October 18 people are similarly able to exert a strong influence on those around them. Such strong Martian energy can, however, be at odds with more placid Venusian temperaments, as Venus is the ruler of Libra. A combination of Venus and Mars produces a highly magnetic and sexual orientation, which, if frustrated, may present a danger to those born on this day and others associated with them, it says in parentheticals. All right, your numbers and your planets. What I have to say here in the notes. The number 9 in the planet Mars for that math-powered influence on others and that god of war energy. At least as much god of war energy as your co-rulership of Venus will allow. With terms like placid and at odds with, it may make sense that you might feel more at home with staying at home, all right? Regardless, having a highly sexual and magnetic orientation. But that may be to other people's benefits, with warnings of danger with as much. What kind of danger, the reading doesn't say, so we'll both have to use our imagination in that case. But that being said, there's so much popularity with the juxtaposition of the Mars and Venus energies. I just wish they would, not that I'd waste a wish on it, but it'd be nice if they put into the book a little bit more of a context with those differences. I dove back into a couple other number 9s, and it said the same thing but differently most of the time, by and large. So I couldn't really get any more information there for you, if you like. So like I said, we'll just have to use our imaginations. But it's interesting that they mention that dynamic. They personalized it for you there a little bit. A lot of these other days, the number 9, it's kind of a copy paste job. So you don't get that little added facet for you to consider. In any event, that's been your numbers and your planets. Let's dive in with your tarot. That's right, your tarot card. It's one of the more eclectic of the New Age metaphysical ideologies, if you like, even though it's not all that new. But hey, let's see what it has to say. We don't have to take it home with us, and start dealing out cards for every life's decision. But it's your birthday, it's fun. Let's see what it says. All right, the 18th card of the major arcana is the Moon, which primarily represents the world of dreams, emotions, and the unconscious. Positive attributes include sensitivity, empathy, and emotional understanding. Negative qualities include emotional malleability, passivity, and a lack of ego. All right, real quick with the moon card there. What do we got here? The moon for the world of dreams, emotions, and the unconscious. Positive traits of empathy, emotional understanding, and emotional malleability, and passivity, lack of ego for the negatives, like we said. Not that I understand how lack of ego is a bad thing. I've had this come up before, and it just still puzzles me. I haven't got any more clarity on that. Because I thought that was kind of the goal, at least in Buddhist terms. But apparently, it's seeking enlightenment isn't a goal for the tarot. Who's to say? I don't know. The tarot card deck used to be just like any other playing card deck with your suits. But at some point, somebody decided to give it some extra meaning. So a lot of people say, "Oh, that means it doesn't have anything." Well, there's no real relevance to all this metaphysical ideology type stuff. But you never know. If you've ever heard of the consensus reality, you get enough people believing in something, it starts to take on those facets. Who's to say? But any event, hey, the moon didn't say much, and I couldn't really provide much of a commentary. That's how it goes sometimes. So, but that's been your tarot. Let's move on to your health. That's right, your health. All right, those born on October 18 must avoid running themselves down and getting stressed out by too many responsibilities. It's very important for them to learn to say no when they feel they have reached their limit. Defining this limit, acknowledging what they can and cannot handle, is key. Regular sleep and eating habits are here highly beneficial for emotional stability. And October 18 people should ensure that their diet is balanced and includes varied grains and fresh vegetables. Stimulants like caffeine and nicotine should be restricted if possible. And alcohol and any drugs that produce narcosis, anesthesia, or depression must be treated with the utmost care. And time should be taken out for regular exercise, and physiotherapy, massage, and yoga are particularly recommended to aid in relaxation and getting rid of aches and pains, particularly in the middle and lower back. All right, what do I have to say about your health here? Let's dive in and get into it. Don't run yourself ragged by getting stressed out. All right. I highly endorse this idea of learning and leaning into saying no. All right. Reclaim your power if you haven't already put it into practice. Saying no, I mean. By and large, a very health-specific health entry with diet, exercise, and ailments to be concerned and aware of. Now, I know it sounds a lot like what it should concern, being a health thing, but a lot of times they breeze right by a lot of that stuff they mentioned for you. They drill down ostensibly on other concerns like psychotherapy and your mood and your emotions and things like that. Not you, but for them. But for you, they drill down on your diet, things you should eat, things you should avoid. Now, with Libras in particular, they do often stress staying away from stimulants and vices, if you like. So maybe take note of that. There might be like an addictive personality with folks born in this time period. Who's to say? I don't know how that's reconciled, but that's for brighter minds than mine to figure out. So maybe take note. They didn't mention, however, to take care of your kidneys or your intestines. They did mention your back, but not your kidneys or intestines. And I say that because there's so many other Libra days where they made mention of that specifically. So it's almost a glaring anomaly that they left it out. So maybe take mind of taking care of those kidneys and intestines as well as your back there. What else we got here? Be mindful of vices, kidneys, back, and intestines, which gets mentioned. Okay. So there's no reason to not be mindful. That's right. That's all your health there. But I will say one thing about this alcohol and drugs that produce narcosis and anesthesia or depression must be treated with the utmost care. They never have mentioned narcosis or anesthesia before. So they personalize this one for you for sure. That's right. But in any event, that's been your health. I just thought I'd make a little note of that. Show you that they were thinking of you and it wasn't just a copy-paste job. That's right. So let's dive in with your advice. All right. Learn to say no. Not only to others, but also to yourself. All right. Producing is only one aspect of life. Let yourself be pampered occasionally and give yourself the benefit of the doubt when you can. All right, real quick advice And even though they were a little bit redundant, it was still valuable. They went and they added another little trick to their bag, didn't they? And why do I say that? Let's get to it. Drilling back down on learning to say no. But they added a facet to it, to yourself as well, all right? Interesting. That smacks of self-discipline, all right? At least I would argue. And apply that where you like, where you think is needed, even if you really don't want to. But that's kind of the idea of self-discipline in the first place, right? It also says let yourself be pampered, even if you're the one doing the pampering, I would argue. They didn't add that little facet, so I had to throw it in there for you. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. I agree. Don't be too hard on yourself, all right? Reconcile whatever hang-ups are plaguing you. It sounds a lot like imposter syndrome to me, and I'd say that's a real thing. But this book was written in the early 90s, and I don't think imposter syndrome was something thrown on that dynamic just yet. So that's probably why it didn't get mentioned in here. But here's the thing about imposter syndrome. It's also self-imposed, all right? There might be outside factors that lead you into that particular mindset, but it's you doing that work there. So I say live and learn from it, all right? We can let it have its due, all right? But hey, let's use that as an opportunity to learn why we're thinking that's the case, all right? And then have the self-discipline to put it away if and you can. That's right. But don't let it control you or seize your power. I think that's what I'm trying to say. All right. That's what I'd say about your advice. Let's dive in. Take the energy down just a hair with your meditation. All right. Let's get to it. Your meditation. At any moment, you may be asked for what you least expect. All right. One more time. At any moment, you may be asked for what you least expect. I like that. All right, that's been your meditation. I'm not going to throw a spin on it or my read on it, and it might affect how you interpret it. And it's your birthday, your meditation, so that's just for you. All right, so that's your meditation. Let's dive in with your strengths and weaknesses. Oh, all right, let's do the work. Your strengths, you're inspirational, you're imaginative, and you're forthright. You know what? I think that's the first time forthright's been mentioned. How about that? This is a highly personalized day. All right, but let's get into those weaknesses. That's right. Let's do the work here. Your weaknesses, you're overstressed, you're aloof, and you're bothered. Hell, what are you bothered about here? You know what? Those are all things that can be improved upon and or addressed. That's right. Learn to say no, all right? Do a little bit of self-pampering if you like. All right, hey, a lot of times we just need these things pointed out to us, and then we realize that that's the case. Sometimes we didn't even realize they applied, but then there's that, we heard them 100 times before. Probably less, but 100's a good number. But you know what? It just takes that one time of hearing it that other in a certain way or a context that gets us to spark to it. So hey, hopefully this was that time. That's all right. Okay, that's been your strengths and your weaknesses. So let's dive in with those born on this day. And as we get into those born on this day, I like to take a moment to not only see who shares your company, as interesting as that can be, but to drill down on our passions. That's right. I think it's important that we figure out what we want to do in this life, all right? See, I get out in the world and I meet folks and I ask them what they do, and more importantly, ask them if they like it. A lot of times they don't. I mean, you can see it on their face, even if they say they do. Now, they may just have a good poker face, but not everybody does. That being said, so a lot of folks just don't have the time to put in the work to figure out their passions. And who can blame them? There's just no time to put in the work to do that. You got to get out of school, get a job. You got to get that financial responsibility and security. And as expensive as things have been for so long, there's no time to do what you want. That's right. So in any event, I figured this is the perfect opportunity to see what people who not only share your company did, but ostensibly what got them in the book, put them in the map, right? Got them fame, maybe fortune, I don't know. But maybe we can take some inspiration if we're looking for that for ourselves, all right? I think that's what I'm trying to get at. In fact, I know that's what I'm trying to get at. I've said it many times before. So let's dive in with those born on this day. We have Martina Navratilova. Navratilova, I believe. All right, she was the Czech U.S. tennis champion, 9-time Wimbledon, 4-time U.S., 3-time Australian, and 2-time French Open winner. We have Chuck Berry, the rock and roll pioneer, singer, songwriter, guitarist, pianist, and a saxophonist. I don't think I knew he was a saxophone player. We also have Violeta Camarona perhaps, a Nicaraguan president and was ousted by the Sandinistas. We also have Pierre Elliott Trudeau, a Canadian prime minister. We also have Vytautas Landsbergis, a Lithuanian president. We also have George C. Scott, the stage, film, and TV actor, played Patton, if memory serves. We have Wynton Marsalis, jazz classical trumpeter, bandleader, and composer. Anita O'Day, a jazz singer. A lot of jazz folks today, huh? You ever considered that? We have Henry Bergson, a French Nobel Prize-winning writer, philosopher, and creative evolutionist. Pierre de Laclos, French writer and playwright of Les Liaisons Dangereuses. Dangerouses, something like that. Bad with French. What can I say? Molina Marcouri, Greek stage film actress and culture minister. We also have Peter Boyle, a film actor of Everybody Loves Raymond and Young Frankenstein fame, if memory serves. Wendy Wasserstein, a playwright. We have Jesse Helms, a U.S. Senator of North Carolina. We also have Lot Lenya, German singer and stage actress. Also have Ramiz Alia, Albanian president. Konstantin Mitsotakis, a Greek prime minister. Also have Frederick III, Holy Roman German Emperor, and it says Pope Pius II, as well as Herbert Chillstrom, the Evangelical Lutheran Church head. Well, all right, how about that? For those born on this day, you had some leaders of all sorts, not only of churches, but of countries, states. We also had some writers, philosophers, jazz musicians, and actors and actresses. I may have already said that one, but hey, quite the gamut of those born on this day. Hopefully you took a little bit of inspiration. I know you probably didn't. Big ask and hard sell, but hey, that's what we're here for. To try to get those things to maybe pop loose, right? It is your birthday. We want to give you some positive influences here, regardless if they give you any benefits. That's right. So that's been those born on this day, and by and large rounds out your birthday read, except to say your season is fall, your sign is Libra, of the Libra III period specifically. And like I said, it's the last day of Libra III, and your quality and elements is Cardinal air. And this has been October 18th, the day of personal leadership and paper tigers. That's right. From The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and you Stelfers. I have a link for this book down in the description if you're interested in picking up your own copy, diving in further with the other birth dates, your zodiac signs, and all that other happiness that was mentioned there. Hey, it makes a great coffee table book if you ever have somebody over. It says you were kind of an isolationist. Well, maybe you didn't say that, but it said you like to stay home. But hey, you've probably been known to throw a party or two. So get the conversation started by breaking some ice. In a literal sense, too, if you get the hardcover. But even that's not what's important here, the book. What's important is it's your birthday and wishing you a happy birthday. That's right. But for everybody else who joined us randomly or to celebrate, I just want to say, I hope you enjoyed yourself and you join us for your birthday read as well. And with that being said, lest we forget, your daily numbers. That's right. A 5 and a 6 for an 11. Get out there, feel and see the magic. And not just you born on this day. You other folks too. These are for you as well. You can do it even though it's not your birthday. You can do it. Get out there, see and feel the magic and let the universe show you it's with you on your path. That's right. And once again, happy birthday. That's what's most important here, like I said, so many times before. All right. Take care of yourselves.